Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I'm glad to have you here. We're going to be taking a look at the Bible, pulling the truth out of there for everyday life, and because we teach the Bible for life change here at Live Oak Church. And so, regardless, I had something I wanted to share with you. So let's take a look here. It's in the book of Genesis, the very first book in the Bible. It's Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. So, Genesis 25:27. Here goes. It says, as the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating wild game Esau brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew. This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. All right, Jacob replied, but trade me your rights as the firstborn son. Look, I'm dying of starvation, said Esau. What good is my birthright to me now? But Jacob said, first, you must swear that your birthright is mine. So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn. Guys, this is an interesting little story. If you don't know greater context, Jacob and Esau were twins. But as with all twins, one's got to come out first. Esau was first. He was the firstborn. And in Jewish culture especially, that held a special place. It gave them birthright, which kind of changed a little bit over the generations, but speaking for the most part, what it meant is that you got the authority of the father. You were the patriarch of the family once dad passed away, and so you would get to have that authority and preside over the whole family. It also gave you an inheritance, a greater inheritance than the other siblings. So if a guy had 4 kids and he died, they would cut that inheritance into 5 parts. Everyone would get an equal part except for the firstborn son. Firstborn son would get 2 parts. And then there's also this idea of there's a priesthood role within a family, and that went to the firstborn son as well. And so all this is what Esau sold because he was starved to death. Now, if he walked into camp or to home, he wasn't starving to death. He could have waited a little while for mom to fix some food. But the point is, he was so short-sighted, he sold something so precious that and it was just for such a small thing, one meal. I don't care how good that meal was. It wasn't worth what he sold it for. Jacob was a manipulator, and Esau was short-sighted. Neither one was perfect, so don't get me wrong. These guys are both, at this point in their lives anyway, they're both just losers, quite honestly. God has mercy on them in different ways, but the point is that Esau was short-sighted. And I want to tell you that we are the same. We settle for things. We want money. We want, well, whatever it is we want. We can come up with an adult-sized Christmas list. Could be big as a person's arm. It might be grossly expensive. Like, oh, I want a house in the Bahamas, or I don't know, whatever. All these things we want. We want, and we're so short-sighted that we're willing to sell things that are more valuable than we realize. We're just like Esau. Matter of fact, I got a quote for you I'm going to read. It's from a guy named C.S. Lewis, who lived in Britain back around World War II, even fought in World War I. But regardless of that, C.S. Lewis was a good Christian thinker, one of the most famous ones, really, in modern times. So, at any rate, this is what he has to say on the same subject. It would seem that our Lord finds our desires not too strong, but too weak. We are half hearted creatures, fooling about with drink and sex and ambition when infinite joy is offered us. Like an ignorant child who wants to go on making mud pies in a slum because he cannot imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea. We are far too easily pleased. Guys, it's the same thing. We are the same way. We need to stop settling for whatever comes at us. The world offers all kinds of things easy. Our culture here in the United States is all about quick and easy. But God's thing, the things from God, the blessings that are worth an infinite amount, don't come quick and easy most often. So, quit selling yourself short. Go for the big prize and treasure the things of infinite value that have an infinite lifespan instead of something that breaks down or degrades or whatever breaks. This is what we do. And I just want to encourage you to stop doing it and stop settling and just go for the gold. Go for God, really. So, His blessings are worth more than anything the world has to offer. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.